Are blue balls a thing? If so, what do they feel like? I got it the first few times I made out with a girl. I can only describe it as a strong ache in the balls. It hurt enough to make me feel nauseous and would last for hours. Only solution I found was a bath as hot as I could stand, and even that took time to have an effect. If I had to be a teenager again, I would have found an excuse to jerk off in a washroom before the blue balls started. Yes, it pretty much feels like a headache in the balls. It happens if the guy is aroused hard for a long time and doesn't end up finishing. Not every time, but it does happen. I'm a woman and even I get it. If I'm turned on too long without stimulation, ouch, it hurts. It sort of feels like painful pressure. It only gets better if I orgasm. It's real. I had it happen once or twice as a teenager. To me it felt like a low-grade kick ringing of the bells. Didn't understand what was happening at the time. 100 real. The worst I've been had was at a kickback back in high school. Like half the party stayed the night at this guy's house and this girl I was taking to end up falling asleep on me. I couldn't fall asleep, was basically awake from 3-8 a.m. with a 100 rubbing right into this girl's thigh. When I got home later that morning my balls were so sore I was starting to get worried I fucked my balls up. I remember it feeling like there was a pole up my groin. After I busted one it went away after about 30 minutes or so. There is an uncomfortable sensation men get in the testicles after prolonged arousal, without orgasm. That being said, the vast majority of times you'll hear the term blue balls used is by gross men trying to shame women for not having sex with them. Edit. Just wanted to add that even if they do experience blue balls there's absolutely nothing preventing them from simply going home and masturbating to take care of it themselves, and I've never experienced it or heard of anyone else experiencing it from being flirted with. Typically, it happens after physical stimulation with no release. Your friend is a rude asshole who's trying to belittle you into sleeping with him. So blue balls occurs when the pistol is loaded and about to fire when there's a sudden interruption. If a dude is just getting blue balls hanging out, he should see a doctor. The solution for blue balls is also at hand, by using their hand to clear the chamber in their own private time. It's never a woman's responsibility to fix a man's blue balls unless she's enthusiastically consenting. It's very hard to describe and doesn't happen often at all, but it's typically if I've been edging way too long. Not every time, and I always regret it when it does because they get so tender and it's hard to walk even. It doesn't last long but would not recommend. They exist, but they are not a big deal. Basically you only get them in my experience if you continuously get erect, and then not erect over an extended period of time without finishing. It feels like, for a lack of a better term, like your balls are full. I know that's not what actually is happening, but creates a dull pain and they are sensitive to the touch. Kind of like a headache would be how I classify the pain. The pain goes away with time of not being aroused and relief sped up with manual manipulation. But you should never feel like you are expected to do this. The man can do it on his own. You definitely don't get them from flirting unless flirting involved heavy dry humping over several hours. Also, never let someone convince you to have sex with them because of blue balls. That's just a form manipulation. Edit. Spelling is hard. Mild dull fullness isn't that uncommon. Felt badly swollen and could barely stand up straight once in my life. People use the term both for the literal thing and as shorthand for being turned on and frustrated. Yes, it's real. Best I can come up with is it's like something squeezing your balls for an hour. But a girl wouldn't know what that's like, so maybe like a headache in your crotch? It's not the end of the world and the chase flirting is lots of fun. Tease away. Yeah, it happened me several times. In my case, it's when I get so horny, but I don't finish, and it hurts me like between my belly and my soldier, but like inside. Talking to my ex, he said the location was actually same like his menstruation. It never hurt me in the actual balls, but more like higher. Like if someone flicked your nutsack, but the source of the pain is internal, not external. Your aroused penis and scrotal area become engorged with blood, as well as the epidermis veiny like tubes onto behind the testicles. The veins appear almost blue, thus the term. I think total guess here is that semen sperm fluid is all ready to go, but without ejaculation you experience inflammation-like symptoms. The pressure to release is real, and the chemical confusion of the brain not understanding the lack of release can cause additional issues. Our shitty primate brain doesn't understand social rules, manners, sexual restraint, etc. So our bodies are confused why we don't mount someone and dry hump like goddamned jackals. I once had blue balls for a week when me and my 18-year-old girlfriend spent a week visiting my grandparents with only one tiny washroom located in my grandparents' bedroom. I had it last for 12 hours. LOL, went to the hospital to be told it was blue balls. They are real. It only happened to me twice in my life. Both when I was in middle school, Ely High School. Hormones at the height. I thought I was going to kiss girls both times, not even sex. It is the most painful experience I've ever had. Simply poking the balls would be intense and sharp pain. You'll never understand why people say it's not real. When I've been hit in the testicles, there's an acute, extreme jolt of pain that shoots from my groin to my stomach and up my spine. If the hit is not crippling, I will mostly recover in about 10-15 minutes, but there will be a dull, aching sensation for at least an hour afterwards. Blue balls feels like the post-injury aching. It's not the worst pain ever, but it's irritating. It's real. For me, it feels like a dull ache. It can happen when a woman teases you or when you don't ejaculate for a long time. I don't know how to describe it in a way that women would understand. Imagine the feeling of a tight muscle, which you would normally address by stretching the muscle. But in this case, it's not a muscle and it can't be stretched. It's a pair of testicles and the only relief is ejaculation. 27 here and never had it. Were there times I wanted to hit badly and wasn't able to? Absolutely, but at most it was just a mental urge or annoyance from being hard for so long, just BC it gets in the way of things. Never had an actual pain. Low-key nut kick is the best way to describe it, which is hard for a woman to understand, so maybe a funny bone hit that goes through your gut.